Peace, love, harmony, and light. This is Chief Kalinago with another video. I know it's been a minute. I know. But, like I always tell people, I love taking periodic breaks from doing videos because we have to step back into ourselves more often than we would like to do some growth, to do some work, to work on ourselves. Because I always tell people it's really, really simple. If you are not whole, then how can you teach other people to be whole? Okay? If you are not growing within your own self, then how can you teach others how to grow? In order to truly be about something, you have to experience that something. So a lot of times, I like to take breaks and, get into my meditation and connect with people that are on the same frequency. In other words, people that I consider family. And believe me, I'm in a beautiful space right now. Not just mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I'm in a beautiful space because you know why? It all started off with the mental realm, the spiritual realm. Finding myself, finding that balance, walking in truth. And one thing about walking in truth is that's all you could be. When you are walking in truth, you see, there's a difference between belief and truth. And once you have found the truth, that means you have found the know. And when you are in the know, it's hard to go back to the belief. Okay? It's hard to do that. So, seeing that for me, and I could only speak for myself, I have found the truth. I am in the know, so it's hard to go back. But when you are in the know, you have to always be in control. Okay? You always have to be able to walk through the different obstacles and the different circumstances and even the bliss that may come into your life. You have to know how to create that balance. And for me, man, I have found that. And just by finding myself spiritually and finding that space of serenity, it manifests in the flesh. All right. And I'm amongst great company. I mean, people I call family. For the past few months, I've been among people that I consider family. And that circle is small, very small. I could count these people on two hands, literally. Because you see, there's a difference between relatives and family. Family is what we need at this time in our existence. Family is what we need. Okay? Because relatives are blood. Yes, they are blood, and you can't help that. They are connected to you some way or the other through the flesh. All right? Through the physical manifestation. But family is something spiritual. And I have found that. And I'm just grateful. And these people know who they are. But this video is about, not necessarily about family. It's about what's happening to our people right now. Okay? And I really can't tell you when is the next time you're going to get another video from me. They say you only miss a good thing when it's gone. Well, I'm not gone. I'm just missing in action for a minute. And that's being done intentionally. Because like I said, I need time to myself. There's work to be done. And the work that I have to do, I cannot do it by talking. I have to apply the knowledge that I have in order to change things. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But with that being said, a lot is happening right now. Distractions from left to right. People don't realize that when the government or Hollywood, because, they all are part of a society. That's what it's about. You see, that's their family. That's their society. And when I say they, I'm talking about the have. This is about the have and the have-nots. It's about control. It's about power. This has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Now, it may appear that way. That's what they are promoting. You feel me? The separation of the people. But truly, it's about the have and the have-nots. You see, the have-nots are waking up to realize that everything is a lie. What we have been taught, religion, politics, science, our life, literally our history, everything is a lie. So they realize that the people are waking up and their time is up. And when I say they, I mean the have-nots. It is time to level the playing field. But they realize that they are losing the grip on the people. So they have to put things in place to get the people back into that mental state of slavery. And that's how they control the people. They control the people's minds. Hence the word government, to govern your mental. And that's what they do. You feel me? But this is what, so here's the trick. When they use a celebrity or a political figure or somebody with some high status, based on the ethnicity of that individual, that is who the distraction is for. When they use any type of ethnicity, whether it may be Caucasian or what you call so-called Black or African American, that's what they do. It's a distraction. So when they use an African American or so-called African American or a so-called Black person, that distraction is just for that ethnic group. But when they use a Caucasian, normally it affects everybody. Okay, it affects Caucasians the most. But when they use a so-called Black person or African American, it mostly affects these people, that demographic. Not saying it doesn't affect anybody else, but it is something in there, particularly just for them. But when they do that, the distraction is because of one or two reasons. One or two reasons. Number one, it could be because they have to pass something through legislation, an act that's going to work in the benefit of the so-called Black man or African American man or woman. Okay? Or it's an act or a legislation that's going to pass and take them back into slavery for another 300-400 years. I'm going to repeat myself. When these people come with these distractions, it is for one or two reasons. Number one, it is because by law, by treaties, they have to pass certain legislations and acts and executive orders that's going to work in your favor. Okay? That's going to work in your favor. Or it could be one that's going to work totally against you. In other words, it's going to take you back into slavery. And seeing that the supposed emancipation of the slave, the 400 years of slavery, whether you deem it to be true or not, that's not what, we're not going to get into that. For the most part, there's enough videos explaining the narrative of the true slave trade. But let us look at this 400 years here for a second. From 1619 to 2019 is 4 years. So it is the so-called emancipation of the enslavement of the people. So there are certain acts and certain resolutions that has to be passed. You feel me? So now they have to throw in a distraction. So they came in with Bill Cosby, but the Bill Cosby saga didn't accomplish what they wanted it to accomplish. In other words, the Bill Cosby saga, it went through too smoothly and they hadn't accomplished their goal. The distraction, the purpose of the distraction hadn't set in. So what they had to do, they had to go back to the drawing board. Okay, you know what? Oh, R. Kelly. You remember R. Kelly? Let's pull R. Kelly out of the closet and let's bring him down, because that's where the emotions kick in. Okay? I mean, yes, everybody loved Bill Cosby, but they love them some R. Kelly too. So what they do is they get to the emotions of the people. Use their emotions to get them distracted. So this is what all this is about. R. Kelly is not the only one who has allegedly molested children. That is a Hollywood culture. All the Caucasians, for the most part, in Hollywood has done that at some point. Molest children. Sodomize little boys. I mean, literally kill babies and eat their flesh. Even Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, made a joke and said, I eat children. Now, is he really joking? Or is just a part of the Hollywood culture and they have to tell you the truth, but they tell it to you subliminally. They tell it to you as a joke. Because you see, these people always deal with allegories, just like the Bible. You feel me? So at the ending of the day, this is all a big distraction. Now, I am not doing this video to say that I condone any type of abuse. Abuse is abuse. Abuse is abuse. So my thing is this: why pick out just sexual abuse? What happened to physical abuse? What happened to spiritual abuse? What happened to financial abuse? They're not talking about that. What happened to the agenda of turning all our little boys into little girls? By the food, by what they teach in school, by teaching us the ways of these Greco-Romans, homosexuality. How come nobody's talking about that? They are giving them more rights than you. But anyway, that's another topic. The point is this: it is all a distraction. That's all it is. I am not saying that these things aren't supposed to be addressed. But you see, you have to look at the timing of everything. Our entire lives, okay, a lot of us, well, I haven't seen it in my family, okay, so like I said, I grew up in a whole different culture. So but I'm going to say this: over 80% of the so-called black people and African Americans were raised in homes where an uncle sexually molested a child, where children were abused, whether it may be mentally, physically, any type of abuse that you want to think of. And let us not talk about the hereditary, that ancestral abuse that our ancestors went through is still in our DNA. So a lot of us are still dealing with that. That's a form of abuse as well. But nobody's talking about that. But look at the timing. The timing is just too coincidental, is it? Or is it? Or is it just perfect timing? 2019, the supposed emancipated slaves. 2019, you have the 2020 census coming up next year. 2019. You have the Real ID Act coming into, it has to go into fruition all over the country in what? 2020. Pulling you back into slavery. So it's something deeper that's happening. And then the government shut down. People are afraid they're not going to get their taxes. They're not going to get their refund. Brothers and sisters, it is all a game, a trick that they are playing on you. It's about the have controlling the have-nots. And how do they control you? They control you through your emotions, through fear. Because they cannot exist without you. But they don't want you to know that. So they are acting as your God, when the truth of the matter is you are God and you created them. The people created the government. Hence, when you go to the Constitution, it says we the people. And we ordained it. So therefore, we are the creators of the government, which is the creation. That's why they are called public servants. But the servants has become the masters. And the masters has become the servants, the people, the slaves. So they know that they are losing control. So what they have to do, they have to come up with distractions to put things in place to control their slaves. So let us talk about the government shutdown for a second. First of all, well, you know what? Let's not get into that. Let us talk about the R. Kelly situation here for a second. So I am not condoning any form of abuse, but why now? Why now? When our entire lives, a lot of our people, over 80% of our people, if not more than 90%, have been dealing with some form of abuse. Where a father would walk into his little daughter's room and abuse her, sexually molest her. And then she would tell her mama, well, mama, daddy did this. And because the mother loved the man, don't want to break up the home, she, oh, well, you know what? Just be daddy's little girl. Don't tell nobody. It's all in your mind. You're making it up. Same thing with little boys. You see, damaged people are so prone to damaging and hurting each other. And our people are crying out. And because they are crying out and nobody's hearing them, then they are lashing out. But people don't realize, because people don't realize that they are ill. They have that mental dis-ease because you know what? It has become the norm. It has become so normal that that's the normal way of life. So you don't know that you are damaged. And even for a lot of y'all that's even on YouTube doing videos, you are mentally ill, but you don't know it. That's why it's easy for you to just revert to the negativity. Attack a brother, attack a sister, spread propaganda, spread rumors, because you yourself, you are hurting. You haven't found your true self. You haven't found the truth. You are still seeking. And in the midst of seeking, we have to find our way through the chaos. So your life is chaotic. Misery. And misery love company. So what you do, you tend to try to bring others into your fold. So let us talk about abuse. R. Kelly's not the only one doing it. They're doing it all over Hollywood. All the Caucasians in Hollywood abuse children. They sexually molest children. It is part of the culture. It is part of the culture, and they do it out in the open, and they make it seem like a joke. You have Will Smith kissing his son on the lip. All that is part of a ritual. All that is part of a ritual. You see them on the red carpet hugging little girls, filling up their breasts, and you could feel the children and see the children are resisting, but they have to do it. It is part of the culture. If you want to be a part of that society of the haves, you have to sell your soul. So R. Kelly is not the only one. So why make him the example? Why make him the example? Because they have something in store for African Americans, you so-called black people. And you're going to miss everything because you are so distracted. I have never looked at any of those R. Kelly videos. I see a post, I don't read it because I have to protect my energy. That is a form of energy, currency. Okay? So I'm not going to, I have to stay on a certain frequency in order to put things in place. You feel me? So what's happening to man all over the world? And when I say man, for a very long time, we have been governed by mankind. We have adopted their deities, their fake gods, which are entities. Okay, we have accepted their religion. You know, our men sleep with their women, our women sleep with their men. We have adopted their culture, their ways, their animalistic ways, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening. There's a price to pay for everything. So if we're going to talk about abuse, man, let us talk about abuse from the entire spectrum. Let us not just pick out one man and make him a villain of society when all of Hollywood sleep with babies. Okay? That is just a fact. And I'm not condoning what R. Kelly did, whether he did it or not. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying it's a distraction. So now that, let's talk about the government situation. First of all, there's no government. We haven't had a government since the Act of 1871, the DC Act, when it became a corporation. There's no government. So how can there be a government shutdown when there's no government? All it is just a business. And the business decided, okay, you know what? We are going to close our doors for a little while. Okay? And the patrons, meaning that the people who patronate the business, let's see if we could make them suffer for a little bit. So let us close our doors. It's not a government, it's a business. It's a business. Hence, the president of the company is making executive decisions. But because the people are so caught up in their emotions, they can't see that. They can't see that. All right? And everybody's so scared, oh, well, I'm not going to get my refund. Look at the word refund. 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 any word that has the prefix re in front of it, it means to do it again. You already had it. It is your funding. It's your money. You already had it, but you gave it away. And now you want to get it back. They don't have to give it back to you because you gave it to them. Because they told you it's optional. Paying taxes is optional, but you gave it to them. So now you want a refund. Now they could say, okay, you know what, man? All Trump has to do is pass an executive order and say it's a state of emergency and you ain't getting shit back. And he could do that. That's legal. That is legal. It is your funding. It is yours. That's your property. But you gave it to them willingly. They didn't force you. They gave you a 1040 and they say, hey, you know what? If you believe you're tax exempt, put it down. But they give you a few categories that you think that don't apply to you. And then all of a sudden you start giving them your funds because you don't know that you don't know that paying taxes is optional. So now you're looking for a refund. It is not yours, it's theirs. That's a form of abuse. But how come the people aren't talking about that? Everybody wants to make a New Year resolution. When the truth of the matter is, the new year, like I said, the new year, I've always told y'all, the new year starts in March, when there's new growth. But they give you the new year in the dead of winter where everything is dead. And that's what you're celebrating, a ritual. A dead ritual to keep you dead. When in actuality, when you look into nature, nature already told you when the new year is. It's during the springtime, when things are growing. That's the new year. So you could grow into it. But everybody's making resolutions. Let us look at that word resolution. Let us break up that word. Let's tear it apart here for a second. You have resolution. 2 words. And like I said, anytime you add the prefix re in front of a word, it means that you have done it before. So if you are going to do a resolution or a resolution, because if you separate the word, you have re or re, right? And look at that word they call solution. It's actually solution. But the reason why people don't catch on to that is because they haven't found the problem. The only way for you to have a solution is to know what the problem is. You cannot resolve anything without knowing what's the problem. And that's the problem with people. They don't know what the problem is, but every year they make a resolution, a resolution. So in other words, you are continuously doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And the last time I checked, that's called insanity. The only way for you to resolve something, you have to know what the issue is. That's why they have resolutions or resolutions. There's a problem. We identified the problem. Now let's find a solution. Now, after we find a solution and it may not work for everybody, now we could do a resolution. But they got y'all twisted. Twisted. So here you are finding resolutions when you never had the solution in the first place. Now let us identify some of the problems. Number 1, you're paying rent in your own land. That's a problem. Have you resolved that? No. Number 2, you don't need a driver's license to travel your own land. Have you resolved that problem? Or have you solved that problem? No. Paying taxes is optional. Do you pay taxes? Yes, you do. So that means you haven't solved that problem. You feel me? So how can you have a resolution if you haven't solved anything? The courts could just come and take your children. Have you solved that situation? No. And they're not even real courts. They're all administrative buildings. They're not courts. They're not real courts. Because courts deal with law, not statutes and codes and policies and ordinances. No. Real courts deal with real law, not a legal system. But have you solved that problem? No. So how can you have a resolution if you haven't solved anything in the first damn place? When you register your car, that means you are turning over your title to the DMV, which is a private company. The DMV ain't got nothing to do with the so-called government, the fake government. DMV is a private organization. But they tell you, oh, well, you have to register the car. That's the law. No, that's not law. Those are policies. But have you solved that problem? No. Brothers and sisters, those who have eyes, let them see, and those who have ears, let them hear. And I've been talking to you guys for a while now. And not everybody's going to get this. I totally get it. But I hope enough people get it to see where I'm going with this, to see truth. You see, take your emotions out of everything for a while. And when I say take your emotions, I'm not saying be emotionless. But what I'm saying is that stop acting on your emotions when you don't truly have a true understanding of everything. Okay? So all this R. Kelly stuff and everything that's going on is a big distraction. Government shut down. There's no government. Oh, we building a wall to do what? To keep Mexicans out? They cannot keep Mexicans out. The wall is not to keep Mexicans out. It's to keep you in when this thing really fall apart, so that they could control their slaves. How many people know that the United States and Mexico have treaties that Mexicans are supposed to come here for commercial purposes? All that stuff. You don't need a wall to keep out Mexicans. No. All you need is a few soldiers with some guns. I don't see a wall in Iraq. I don't see walls in Iran. I don't see walls in all the countries they go and kill innocent people. So why do you need a wall right here? All you need is a few soldiers like y'all normally do. But a wall. But y'all gonna learn though. You may not learn the easy way, but you're gonna learn one way or the other. You feel me? But Trump told y'all the country is divided. And Americans only come together. And history have shown that they only come together when they suffer. And they are just preparing y'all. The distraction they're giving you, by the time you open up your eyes and this whole R. Kelly thing just die out like everything else and no longer is relevant, you'll wake up and realize, oh shit, Chief Kalinago was telling the truth. Here comes the suffering. So if y'all don't want to start growing your own foods, start getting foods that could last you for 6 months to a year, start storing foods, a lot of y'all gonna end up in concentration camps. And when you try to run, that's what the wall is going to be there for. But you know what? Maybe Chief is just talking. He don't know what he's talking about. But we'll see. All that's left to be seen. These people know that, when I say these people, I'm talking about the haves. They know that this thing is about to fall apart. So what they have to do? If you are losing control of the slaves, you have to get back control of the slaves. You see, the international platform, the international world, other countries know that the American dollar has no value. It hasn't had value since 1933. The United States, the corporation, been bankrupt since 1933. What you think is money is not money, but they got you killing your brothers, killing your sisters, destroying each other for this fiat currency. It's a piece of paper. It's actually a debt instrument. You're fighting and killing each other to be debtors. Damn, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So because they know that countries are not acknowledging that no more, and they have to remain a power, what they do, they have to go back to the drawing board like they did in 1933 with FDR, Roosevelt, when the world banks didn't want to lend them no more money. So the president said, okay, you know what? Man, listen, we ain't got no collateral, but the only currency that we have, the only collateral that we have is the people. And what they did, they sold the people out. So that's happening again. History repeating itself. There is nothing new under the sun, but they have to give you all the distractions so you won't see it coming. So they're going to put you back into slavery. Do you think all this is happening in 2019 because it's a coincidence? No, it's not. All these things are planned. They are pre-planned. They are playing chess while you're playing checkers. So your lives are about to change. If you don't see what's going on and find a solution for it. Because all the New Year resolutions you have been making, it has put your life in a spiral. Okay? Going through life like a hamster in a hamster's wheel, thinking you are going places, but you are not. You just keep going in circle and circle and circle and find yourself making the same resolutions because you know what? You are in a state of confusion. You haven't found the solution. Shoot, you don't even know the problem. You haven't identified the problem. So how can you solve it? So every year you keep making the same resolution, thinking you're making a different one. When the truth of the matter is you're just going in circles. You're not going anywhere. So brothers and sisters, I just wanted to take some time to drop some information. All right. You have a lot of people out here doing videos, and that's cool. Like I said, you know, ain't nothing wrong in talking. But what are you doing? What are you doing? And a lot of them that's on YouTube, and you think, you know, man, let me tell y'all something, man. This thing is so deep that even the people that you respect the most on YouTube, they have sold out. A lot of them are natives. They got native tribal cards because they are federally recognized, meaning that they are under the jurisdiction of the federal government. But the federal government is not even a government, it's a corporation. So therefore, man, that's all I'm going to say. But they come and they tell you, oh, they're Aborigines, oh, we're American Indians, and they want to tell you from A to Z. But they themselves, they took the bag. They took the bag. They got their tribal Native American cards. Because you know what? They wanted the privileges. They wanted the perks. And I'm not telling you things I'm guessing. I'm telling you things that I know for a fact. But you see, Chief Kalanago is different. I was cut from a different cloth. I'm not going to sell out my ancestors. Never that. Because I had an opportunity to get my native tribal card. It was a Thursday. I could remember clearly in New York. All right. I went to a powwow or a meeting, whatever you want to call it. And when I got there, the chief was a native chief. And he, you know, I was introduced. I got to say, he gave me the utmost respect as another chief. And he told his people, hey, you see this man right here? He's a chief. And the same respect that y'all give me, I demand the same respect for him. And he pulled me to the side. He said, Chief, today is Thursday. By Saturday, I could have your native tribal card for you. And you'll be federally recognized. I looked at him straight in his eyes and I said, my brother, thank you, but no thank you. I'm not going to sell out. I'm not going to sell my ancestors' legacy for any privileges. I am an Aborigine, the original. Now that's gangster. Not selling your ancestors out for a tribal native card. I'm not going to do it. And then the following Saturday, he reached out again. Chief, I thought you was coming. I said, nah, brother, I'm serious. I'm good. I don't need that native card. I'm going to do things the hard way. I'm going to get my respect and acknowledgement the hard way. I'm going to travel that narrow path. But a lot of them on YouTube that's talking to you, that have all the thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, you think that they, oh, yeah, man, that's the man, that's the woman. Let me tell y'all something. They have their native tribal cards. They are natives. All right? But they made a deal with the beast. Well, you know what? We're going to give you your tribal card. But seeing that you have the attention of the people, give them so much. Give them the information, but don't give them the answer. Don't give them the way out. But you could feed them information because it's already public information. But don't worry, we got you. You'll get your little monthly check. You'll get your little perks that the natives gets. So y'all got to realize and recognize the real that walk among you. That's all I'm going to say. But for me, I don't have time for the gossip. I don't have time for the negativity. I don't have time for the games. So I can't say when you will get another video from me because I got work to do. And I'm just so thankful to, like I said, the people that I call family. I could literally count them on two hands. Okay? Whether it may be a family in a family, but I consider them family. And it's just being in a state of mind, being on a certain frequency. I ask the ancestors, I ask the Great Spirit to manifest certain things in my life. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't even feel what's happening out there. I don't even know what's happening out there because you know what? That is not part of my reality. It only becomes your reality when you feed it. That's it. We all have two wolves in us. And I've told y'all that story before. We all have two wolves in us, a bad wolf and a good wolf. And they are always at war. And one has to win. Which one do you think is going to win? Any one of them could win. But the one that wins is the one you feed the most. So I don't give my energy to negativity. I don't give my energy to all the things that's happening out there that's not conducive to my growth. So I don't see it. I don't feel it. I don't know what's happening with R. Kelly. I'm just hearing stuff. I don't even ingest that. It is energy. It is currency that I don't want in my energy field. The government shut down. I don't care about that because I know in my mind there's no government. Refund, all that stuff is because I know that currency, that money, what they call money, is not real. So you see, it doesn't affect me. I don't see it. You make your reality. Is what you perceive becomes your reality. And if you think you have a government, then you are in some serious problems. And if you think that fiat currency is real money, then you got another serious problem. Okay? And if you think they are going at R. Kelly right now because they care about sexual molestation, you got a problem. Trust me. Anything that's destroying you, they don't care about. They only use it to continue to destroy you. They don't want you to be better. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to step up into your rightful place. No. They want to keep us divided. They want to keep us distracted. They want to keep us vibrating in our lower chakras. That's what they're doing. But they're using your emotions to keep you away from what's happening, the real things. So, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your continuation. I'm doing some traveling right now, doing some major work. And once again, man, I'm just thankful. I want to give a shout out, you know what I'm saying, to my brother. You know what I'm saying? I want to give, that was my phone. I want to give a shout out to my brother, you know what I'm saying, on the land, you know, in Missouri, you know, brother Will I Am, you know, peace and love to you and the family. You know what I mean? My brother in Jersey, my brother in Long Island, my brothers and sisters, you know, in Chicago, you know, wherever, man, all over. I'm talking about all over the world. I have people reaching out to me from Denmark, you know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm thankful. I am in a state of bliss. You know, I want to thank, you know, my sister, you know, Zazie, you know what I'm saying? So just always looking out, you know what I mean? So, like I said, man, I'm in great company. It's a beautiful thing. But brothers and sisters, everything is happening because you allow it to happen. You are the collateral and they cannot do anything without you. But the only way for them to get to you is to play on your emotions so they could get you back into slavery. That's what this is all about. Everything is a choice. It's voluntary. You know, the Creator gave us free will. Why aren't you exercising your free will? I keep telling y'all, leave these people churches alone. Leave their ideologies alone. You know what I mean? But hey, all I could do is just bring the information to you. At the ending of the day, you do what you feel you need to do with it. You dig? But I do wish you guys the best. And like I've always been saying, get your affairs in order. It's more than just doing one little piece of paper. It's paperwork. It's a lot more than that. And even me, myself, for the past few months, I've been spending so much of that fiat currency, learning things and getting myself in order. Yes, that's right. Chief Kalanago paying for stuff. Yeah. Paying for information. That's right. Because you know what? I value people's time and energy. If somebody's going to spend their time and energy in sharing and teaching me, the least I could do is pay them for it. But you see, that's just me, though. That's just my nature. You give me, I'm going to give back. And a lot of people don't understand or understand that concept. All they want to do is take. So you know what? For me, I'm just taking my time to grow, do what I got to do, and move forward. You feel me? So you guys enjoy the rest of your continuation. Stop allowing these distractions to prevent you from seeing what's really going on. You feel me? Because like I said, man, they have some things planned for y'all that you have only seen in movies. I promise you that. Once again, Trump told y'all, you guys are gonna suffer. And go look at the etymology of the word suffer. It means that you are allowing what they are doing to you. It's a choice. You think that word that he used, suffer, trust me, it was well orchestrated. He used that everything that they say, every word has a single a meaning. And the true meaning of suffer means that you allow it. You give them permission. All right. You tolerate the pain that they're going to put you through when you could have done something about it. That's what suffer means. And nobody's challenging that. So you sow what you reap, or you reap what you sow, rather. You reap what you sow. So if you agreed, you acquiesce to the president of the corporation making you suffer or putting you through pain, and you suffer as a result, then it's your fault, because they told you that already. He made a public announcement. You know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just reading into too many things. But like I said, there's a difference between truth and belief. And I know the truth. I'm out. Don't know when I'll be doing another video again, but I'm moving in the spirit. So if the spirit need me to do one, I'll do one. But I guess I'll talk to you guys in a few weeks. Peace and love. One.